Well, IPL 2022 has 74 games, and here we are on match 37, exactly the halfway mark, and it's Sachin Tendulkar's birthday. So that does mean, hopefully, from an MI perspective, that they get the win. You can find out all and more of this on our match preview right now on cricket.com with WV Raman. Don't go anywhere. Yes, boys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen, you're watching cricket.com with me, Avnish Hegde, and like I said, can it be Mumbai breaking their streak of 7 defeats? Who would have ever thought that? We have WV joining us right now. WV, you must have been scratching your head the other day in the commentary box with that CSK win over MI, but it still leaves them so close but no cigar for a win.
Before we proceed further, let me wish Sach a very happy birthday. He's been a good friend over the years, of course. You know, the entire country will be celebrating his birthday. My best wishes to you, Sach, as always. Yeah, that game was really interesting, wasn't it? That's what I mentioned on my social media handle. I said, doesn't matter where they are placed on the table, they still attract a lot of crowds. And regardless of the numbers of the game, the needle, the aggro is always there. We saw a lot of aggro, a lot of intensity in that game last night, didn't we? So it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Now, there are two subplots. One we mentioned about Tendulkar's birthday, but of course they return to the den, which is the Wankhede for the Mumbai Indians. Do you think that'll give them a slight advantage now, knowing that they're playing at home, literally?
Cricketers or we humans generally go by visual clues. So which means that, you know, when the Mumbai Indians side gets to the Wankhede, what happens is that it'll give them the sense of comfort and also the familiarity thing. But all in all, what is happening is that the Mumbai Indians have not been having the best of times, and they have struggled to perform as units together. Either it's been a case of a couple of individuals exhibiting a lot of brilliance, or it's been a total washout. But again, that has been a very popular franchisee. They always somehow scraped through and found solutions, but now it looks like almost an impossible task for them.
Yeah, they take on LSG, who beat them not too long ago. So hopefully, from a Mumbai perspective, it's not deja vu. Let's pick the boards out of Mumbai before we touch upon LSG in just a bit. Do you think they should kind of tweak that opening pair of Ishan and Rohit, probably bring in someone who's informed to optimize the power play, you feel, WV?
Ishan started off well, but it's just that perhaps, you know, he started thinking too much and his form is slumped a little bit. I've detected a lot of hesitancy in the top order in the game against CSK. You know, that happens when the team is under a lot of pressure, when the individuals are not really in the best of form, they're not very fluent, their footwork is not that good. For example, Rohit Sharma was a nothing short. If he was really in good nick, if his mind was not preoccupied with so many things, I'm sure he would have just whipped it over the rope for a comfortable six. That's what form is all about. And Ishan Kishan, he lost his balance. He played the wrong line. These things happen, you know, in a tournament where things are not really going your way. But that should not be the reason for them to tweak the order. It's just that maybe perhaps they can look at Sky coming in at 3, because what he's done tremendously well in the last few years is that he's learned what to do with his phenomenal ability. He's learned to pace his innings. He's also learned to sort of be the catalyst of the team, whichever team that he plays for. So, which means that he can be the ideal number 3 for them. That can change a lot of things for them. And if you look at that young prodigy, Brevis, he looks like a player who can be extraordinarily useful towards the back end of the innings, because, you know, he's a young boy. He can get carried away, or he may even get overawed by the pressure in case there are a couple of quick wickets, like it happened against the CSK. So if he is there towards the end of the innings and if he gets going along with Pollard after Sky sets up a good base for them, I think Mumbai Indians will put up a lot of runs on the board.
It makes you think about Rohit Sharma even more, because he's not been in the best of form. But I want to ask you whether it's too much on him right now. He's, of course, leading India in all formats. He's going to be kind of achieving bigger things, so to speak, in due course of time. Do you think they should maybe kind of take this captaincy off him right now, as strange as it sounds, WV?
See, it doesn't matter how long you've been playing, how experienced you are always going to be learning in sport and in life as well. This is a phase that Rohit Sharma will come out stronger. maybe it'll help him in the years to come for Mumbai Indians as well as for the Indian side. He's got to go through this phase. It's always the most difficult phase when a batter who's expected to deliver for his side doesn't deliver personally, and the team also is not really in the best of nick, which means that he's got to somehow keep his team going, himself going. It's a huge challenge. It's easier said than done, but he has to go through this phase. That will make him stronger. Maybe, who knows? This particular thing will teach him so many things which will stand him in good stead to win a lot of titles in the future for his franchisee and also perform incredibly well for India too.
Yeah, I mean, just playing devil's advocate there, but some pertinent points for you. Now, when we take a look at Mumbai and what they've done in these last 7 games, obviously it's a no-brainer they've lost all of them, but they've not played two spinners together. Now, even the last time against CSK, they left out Ashwin and they got in the debutant in Hrithik Shokeen. Do you think they're adamant on playing more pace than spin, especially with Indian pacers who are not really up to the mark in this league?
Yeah, bowling has been the problem. If you look at it, they've had the worst economy rate in this at IPL, and the issue has been that they've also stuck to one particular spinner, which was Ashwin Murugan. Yesterday, they brought in the young man Shokeen, who I thought did really well, and I'm also surprised by the reluctance to not play the other leg spinner Markande, because he's played in the IPL before. He's done well, and with all these pitches being really good for batting, really the ball is coming onto the bat on all these surfaces, the four centers. It's important that you have fast bowlers who can really vary their pace with good control, or you need to have spinners who can do the job for you. What Shokeen's performance is proved is that if you are temperamentally good and if you can hold your own, it doesn't matter if you're a spinner, you can really do the job for the side. Uh, Despite the fact that generally all spinners are considered a kind of bowlers who can be vulnerable, he's done extraordinarily well. And with the trend of leg spinners really doing well over a long period of time in the IPL, I'm really surprised that they've not chosen to play Markande. They could have even looked at playing two leggies, Markande and Ashwin, but somehow obviously they know more about their side better than what we can even sort of imagine about the side.
Hmm. It makes you think about players like Hrithik Shokeen or anyone else who's young right now that Mumbai set up. Given the fact that they've lost 7 and they can really bleed the youngsters in right now, do you think they'll opt for that approach? Someone like Tim David and giving these guys longer runs in the team?
See, one thing we should all appreciate Mumbai Indians as a franchisee is in their quest of unearthing talent and the way they've done it over a period of time. The Pandya brothers, who knew them?
Correct.
Bumrah, who knew them before Mumbai Indians roped them in and sort of nurtured their talent and ensured that they went all the way. By that I mean all the way up to the top and playing for the country and performing well in international cricket too. So even now they are emphasizing and they're also pinning all their hopes on a lot of youngsters who will serve them well in the coming years, like the Brovis or Shokeen, and of course Tilak Verma. He's also shown he's got phenomenal talent along with great temperament. So that's one thing Mumbai has always done well as far as unearthing talent, nurturing them, and ensuring them that they go all the way, they realize their potential to the maximum.
Let's see how that story develops because, like you mentioned, they've always kind of had the solid Indian core, so they'll hope that it comes to fruition next year. This sounds like a full Mumbai Indians show, but we'll, of course, ask WV about LSG right now because, look, it's midway of the season, roughly. WV, how much, if you had to actually give them a number on 10 for their season so far, how would you rate Lucknow Super Giants?
I would give them about 5 or 6. The reason why I say 5 or 6 is that they obviously could have done a little bit more better. That is what we are always aspiring for, and also for the fact that they've somehow not found an ideal number 3. They played
Correct.
enough games, and that is something that they've been really searching for. But I think they got into a tangle by not perhaps being a little bit patient. They were expecting somebody to deliver quickly enough and probably zoom in on that particular individual, like Manish Pandey, for example, as a number 3, but that didn't happen. But Manish is one cricketer who needs reassurance. on a regular basis. I've seen him, I've handled him from the under 19 days. He's talented, now he's experienced. He's a bit longer in the tooth than he was some years ago when I first saw him. But the fact of the matter is not that I'm suggesting he's old. It's just that I'm saying he's far more experienced when I first saw him. That was about 10, 12 years ago. But the fact of the matter is, despite that, he needs reassurance. He needs to be told repeatedly that he's good enough. There are some cricketers who are like that. And once he knows that the team management is really looking forward to him performing and being a main contributor, he does the best. So I think that is something that the LSG management needs to do. And once they do it, they're allowed to send him at that particular spot, no matter what happens. Now, he's a kind of player who will somehow get you the runs in key matches. He has that uncanny knack of picking out the main games and the key moments and the key chases. For example, when I was a part of the Knight Riders in 2014, we were chasing in excess of 200 in the final against Kings 11. And he goes and gets a scintillating 90 and puts the team on course for a victory. Of course, it was Piyush Chawla towards the end who sealed the deal as well. But the fact of the matter is, Manish Pandey has to be persisted with, given the other options that they have.
Yeah, so I take it that you might be batting Marcus Stoinis slightly lower down. Do you think they can probably get the best out of him, how Gujarat Titans have done with David Miller, for example?
I think they're looking at Stoinis to play a few deliveries and go bang bang. I think that's
Hmm.
the role that they've allocated to him. They got the Hoodas and the others to try and work it out. Ayush Badoni has come good for them, which means that they're looking at Stoinis to provide the fireworks towards the end of the innings, something like what Kyron Pollard has done for MI Indians all these years. They would prefer him to bat 6 to 10 deliveries and get a quick fire 30 odd. So I think that is the kind of role that they've settled for Stoinis. And I think he's also happy performing that.
Yeah. I mean, it's really integral how they go about their business in the second half of IPL 2022. They've got off to a fantastic start, but they come across a team who's just desperately in need for 2 points something, which is the Mumbai Indians. You can catch it all on cricket.com on Sunday, but we appreciate WV Raman's time in this match preview. Thanks for watching and subscribe before you stop watching.